Hey guys, Barry here. So I just came back from watching Wonder Woman, so here is my review. As you guys are well aware, if you have seen my earlier videos, if you have seen my reactions for the trailers, for example, I might have mentioned how I have not been a fan of the DC Extended Universe so far. There have been three DC movies: Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, and Suicide Squad. And out of the three, Man of Steel is the strongest, and it just went downhill from there. Batman vs Superman, it is a good movie if it was edited right. There was a lot of stuff wrong with this movie, and Suicide Squad, I was just sorely disappointed. I was extremely high expectations for that movie, and it disappointed me so hard. So I've learned that I should not go into a DC movie, the extended universe movie, with high expectations because I might be disappointed. But I can honestly say Wonder Woman, this movie is the best DC movie so far for this universe. The best movie, in my opinion, is still The Dark Knight, but that is Christopher Nolan. That is over 10. That is going to be 10 years from now. Wonder Woman is the best DC movie, and it doesn't say a lot because the other three movies weren't that good in comparison. But I have to say that Wonder Woman is one of the best movies in general, superhero movies, origin movies in general as well. What I like about this movie is that it plays out the superhero origins in a straightforward fashion, but it sells it in a female-centric point of view instead of the male-centric. So we have the male love interest instead of a female love interest. So they switched that up for a change, and which is really nice if you think about it. Some of the best things I like about this movie is Gal Gadot, the actress who plays Wonder Woman. She is perfect. When I first saw her in Batman vs Superman, she did leave an impression, but it wasn't enough because we didn't really know what she was doing in that movie. I mean, she was basically, if you think about it, wasn't really necessary in the movie in the first place. I mean, she helped in the end to take on Doomsday, sure, but that was pretty much it, right? I mean, obviously she was only in that movie just to set up for the rest of the movies going forward. We needed her so we can set up Wonder Woman and also Justice League. So that was it. It's like including Spider-Man in Civil War. He wasn't necessary, but we needed to set him up so we can bring out Spider-Man Homecoming this summer. Anyways, Gal Gadot is an inspired choice for Wonder Woman. She is extremely good. She is gorgeous. She looks amazing in that Wonder Woman uniform, and she really does bring out the character of Princess Diana, where she has that Princess Diana, where she has the grace, the beauty, the confidence, and the character who wants to do so much more, but she realizes that everything is not black and white in the real world like it is in her island. So Gal Gadot is great as Wonder Woman. So that is a huge plus. And her chemistry with Chris Pine, Steve Trevor is one of the highlights of the movie. I love their chemistry together. When they are together and when they're interacting, the script just sparkles. It is amazing work. I love them interacting together. So that was a great plus. Chris Pine as Steve Trevor is great as well. He does more with the role than the standard love interest for a superhero movie. If you think about it, most love interests for a superhero movie are just damsels in distress. Sometimes he is a damsel in this movie in the sense that she will save him here and there, but he brings it as home. He does have a purpose in this movie. He does do more for this movie. He is one of the best DC characters in the franchise so far. The action is really good. I can honestly say that the best scene in this movie is a scene you have actually seen in the trailers, even in the first trailer, where she goes on to No Man's Land, where we first get to see her as Wonder Woman. She throws off the civilian clothes and becomes Wonder Woman. And that is honestly the best scene in the movie, and honestly one of the best scenes in superhero movies in general, because it shows what she can do as a hero and as a character, where she ignores what these people are saying, what she can do and cannot do, and she goes forward and becomes who she's meant to be. And yeah, it was an inspiring, amazing scene. You guys will definitely love it when you see it too. The action in this movie is very good, but I would say that there are some slow-mo scenes. Maybe it's a bit too much. Like Zack Snyder has that thing too. You could see it from 300 all the way to Batman vs Superman, that he loves to do some slow motion stuff. It's artistic for sure here and there, but there might be a bit too much of that in this movie as well. Otherwise, the action is pretty good. The lasso of truth, when she plays with her sword and stuff like that, she's amazing work with this with the action scenes. One of the other things I also love about this movie is the fish out of water concept for Wonder Woman when she joins the real world. where she goes into the real world for Great Britain and stuff, she realizes that it's not all beautiful blue skies and green grasses. It's very murky, obviously because it's 1930s or 1920s World War One Great Britain, so it's under war. It's dark gray skies. It's during the Industrial Revolution, so it's a very different place compared to where she comes from. I mean, the first thing she says about this Great Britain is that it's pretty ugly. And when you compare it to her island, yeah, it is. But the way she interacts with the real world is really hilarious. Where she's an independent warrior princess, and when she comes here, women in that time are not are basically second-class citizens, where they're not even allowed to go into some discussion rooms or wear appropriate clothing or reveal too much and stuff like that. And she tries to break those barriers in this movie, which is great. I love that fish out of water concept with this movie, for example. Now, this movie is not perfect. There are certain scenes in this movie that don't work for me personally, and that, for example, the villains are kind of cookie cutter villain archetypes. There's that, if they had a mustache, they'd be twirling it kind of thing. So it's like that, where basically they're doing evil things for the purpose of just doing evil things. Dr. Poison Lady, like, we don't really know why she's just doing all these awful things, but yeah, she's a pretty evil woman. And even the general guy, he's pretty evil too. And I'm not gonna say and reveal anything about the God of War Ares, but he will appear in this movie. And yeah, the way they pulled off Ares is very well done. Though I might have a little issue with the monologuing, which is something that supervillains do, but whatever, it's just something you can't avoid sometimes. So the villains are a bit mundane and not that original, but they're still serve their purpose well for this movie, because basically this movie is an origin movie, and for an origin movie you focus on the hero and their character, and the villain is more to the side. Sometimes the villain may incorporate into the hero's origin, but this time around it's not so. And yeah, we'd rather focus on Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman, because she's who we pay to see, not the villain. Another thing I noticed that people might say that this movie is a bit similar to Captain America: The First Avenger, in the sense that it is set in a Great War. This is World War One, where Captain America was World War Two. There's a difference there, but yeah, it's set in the past during a Great War, and it builds upon a character who believes in the black and white of good and evil and stuff, and then she goes to the real world and discovers that it's not that way. That part, Captain America realizes in Winter Soldier, but it's a similar character development, if you will. If you can kind of say that Wonder Woman is sort of the Captain America of that universe, in the sense that she is a good person who comes from a different time, who realizes that the world is not what they seem to be. So in that sense, yes, she is similar to Captain America. Another thing I had an issue with is that Wonder Woman is extraordinarily powerful. Like, holy crap, she is incredibly powerful. Like, she might be able to take down Superman if she tried. I mean, basically, she's a god. She's immortal, right? I mean, she lived in World War One times, and she's still exactly the same now. So she is immortal. Yeah, we really don't know what her powers are. I mean, obviously, I've seen I read the comic books and I've seen the TV show, so I know that she has super strength. She can fly, for example, and she have her indestructible bracelets, and she has her lasso of truth. But we don't really get to see more. There's some stuff that she does in this movie that I don't even know that can be explained. Basically, they can just say that she's a god, but I would like more explanation as to what she can honestly do and how far her potential can be with her powers. Because if she can be, I honestly think that she can take on Superman, and she might have been able to single-handedly take on Doomsday if she wanted to. And there are certain parts of this movie that did drag for me. I went with my girlfriend, and she did say that she wanted to fall asleep a few times because she lost a bit of interest here and there. I can understand that, but I was more engrossed into this movie because it is a Wonder Woman movie I've never seen before. But I can say that it can drag here and there. It's not that they have these filler moments or filler scenes that they can cut off. It's just that they should add some scenes. They needed more spark into it. It just wasn't enough life in that part of it, I guess you can say. Marvel tried to counterbalance that by including more humor. There's definitely humor in this movie, but maybe they should include a bit more humor just to levitate the movie sometimes, because obviously it's a pretty dark movie. It's set during World War One, and some awful stuff happens in this movie. And that's another thing I want to commend for this movie, because they actually show the horrors of war. For example, especially during World War One, like mustard gas and no man's land and trench warfare, you get to see that, which is a great plus for this movie, because you don't never get to see that in other movies, and especially superhero movies. So that's a great plus. Now, obviously, now that they set up Wonder Woman's character, we don't have to really. We already know what her character is and what her drives her and who she is and what she wants to be when she reappears in Justice League. So the only characters who do not have any character development in that Justice League movie is Cyborg, The Flash, and Aquaman. So I'm pretty sure they'll have more screen time just to explain their characters in that movie. And yeah, if I was to rank this movie in the DC Extended Universe, this would definitely be the #1 movie. This is the best movie in the DC Extended Universe, bar none. The other movies can't even compare to this movie. Zack Snyder, you're a great visual artist, but you got to work on your story and direction a bit in your movies. And yeah, the other guy who did Suicide Squad, figure something. You got to work on your craft too, man. But God, this movie is extremely good. I love this movie really much. I would definitely rank it #1. Man of Steel #2. Batman vs Superman #3. And then #4, way in the bottom, is Suicide Squad. The less I talk about that movie, the better. I don't like that movie. Just letting you guys know. I am really looking forward to seeing a sequel. Obviously, they've mentioned how Patty Jenkins is contracted to come back to do a sequel, so I'm looking forward to her direction some more. And they're going to set the sequel in modern times, so it's going to be interesting to see how she's going to be behaving in the modern times, what her villains can be, who will she face. And yeah, we'll get to see if she'll have a love interest or not, and we get to see that as well. Hopefully, then they'll announce a sequel, because there's a lot of buzz for this movie. I believe the box office analysts are saying that it'll make over $100 million this weekend. We'll have to wait and see, but that's a lot of money. And what I really appreciate for this movie is that they finally made a respectable female-led superhero movie. The other female-led superhero movies haven't been an embarrassment to the genre and to female movies in general. And when I mention female superhero movies, I mention Supergirl, Elektra, and Catwoman. Supergirl wasn't good. Elektra, yeah, no one even bothered to see that movie. And Catwoman was just a terrible, terrible, terrible movie that even Halle Berry disowned. So Wonder Woman finally legitimized a female-led action movie, and I really think they did a respectable, admirable job with this movie. Now that they set the bar so high for a superhero movie, I want to see how Marvel will compare themselves by bringing out their Captain Marvel movie. How will they make it fresh? How will they, live up to the standards of Wonder Woman? Because Wonder Woman movie is so good, people are going to compare this movie to the new Captain Marvel movie when it comes out as well. So Kevin Feige and this crew have a lot of big shoes to fill when they create their own solo superhero movie in 2019, I believe. So yeah, guys, that is my review for Wonder Woman. I really enjoyed this movie. It was one of the best superhero movies, one of the best superhero origin movies, and also the best DC Extended Universe movie in the franchise so far. I can't wait to see Wonder Woman 2 when they finally announce it, and I really want to see Wonder Woman interact with the Justice League members in Justice League this November. So yeah, if you guys like this review, please like and subscribe to this video and to my channel, and please leave a comment down below, guys. I'd like to hear what you guys think. So see you later, guys. Bye.